if you would take this same plant and plant it, so this field down here and this field over here, we've got 7.5 and 15 inches. And so like that, this farm, I like this variety, and we're trying to figure out its maximum potential. And so that's why this field's on 30s, that one's on 7.5s, part of that's on 7.5s, and part of it's on 15s. And we're trying to find out where are we going to see the most branching, how are we going to stack nodes, because you can take a variety and plant it on, 15-inch rows, and that plant may get this tall, and you put it on a 30-inch row and it'll drop in height, but it'll go out branching in a lateral manner. And so that really has helped us with standability. It's helped us with disease. If we have had disease or late season pest control, it is a heck of a lot easier to drive this 30-inch row than it is to drive a 15-inch. I mean, if you're doing 15-inch beans, you're going across the row. I would say we could come out and spray and do less than half the amount of damage later in the season on a 30-inch row. And the 30-inch beans have just, if we get good weather, they just get a massive stalk on them. It looks like a soybean Christmas tree standing out there in the field. We haven't had near as much lodging when we've been on these 30s, and so I really like these 30-inch row beans, and until, the only reason that we typically look at going away from 30s is it's specifically based on our seed dealer's information on that seed. You know, if it's a thin plant and a medium bush, and we know that it's not going to branch, and we know that it's going to be this spindly little plant, and we're going to have disease or weed issues later in the season, we'll change up that planting pattern. But when we look at our seed selection, you know, for next year, we're looking at these varieties in our trials to say, you know, this performed the best on 30s or 15s, and this is what we want for this particular farm. And so like a farm like this that, you know, we're trying to shoot for 65 bushel beans on this farm, we're not going to throw the over the top, you know, fertility over the top at R3 to R5. We're not going to put PGRs on it. You know, we're essentially going to apply the right fertility at the right timing. We'll do some foliar sprays on it because we know year in and year out that's paid for us, but this isn't going to get a special treatment.